Let's give a warm Washington, D.C. welcome to Deirdre Schiefman, Chief Political and Advocacy Officer of the American Civil Liberties Union.
to place my little hand over my heart and to believe liberty and justice for all meant something real. But what I once believed America was is being crushed under the boot of this administration. I should be at home with my children, raising them to believe in the promise of this country, not standing here demanding the rights that should never have been up for debate. I am honored to be here today, but this is not what I dreamed of. I never dreamed I'd be standing on a stage like this while millions of people are forced to march and protest peacefully in the streets because we refuse to stand by while this country slips into the iron grip of authoritarianism. And I ask this administration now, when we say with liberty and justice for all, who is all to this administration? Because this administration has made it painfully clear. It sure as hell ain't the people who need access to abortion care. It damn sure ain't the people and their families being ripped apart by deportation and kidnapped in the dead of night. It's not our LGBTQ communities and BIPOC communities being criminalized just for existing. And it damn sure ain't the people marching for justice while the National Guard is unleashed on peaceful protesters in their own streets. Contrary to popular belief, the fabric of this country wasn't woven by oligarchs, corporations, or power-hungry politicians. It was stitched together by workers, by immigrants, by Black and brown communities, by women, by queer folks, and by people who refuse to stay quiet in the face of injustice. This movement was made by the people. This movement, No Kings, was named by the people. This movement is the people. And newsflash to this administration and for the people who need it, this country was built on protest. And some of the most important changes in our history happened because everyday Americans just like us. And now, those in power are trying to unravel it thread by thread, taking away rights, stripping away dignity, rewriting what freedom actually means. They've tried to silence us with fear. They've tried to gaslight us with lies. And politicians have stood in front of the cameras, smugly, I may say, peddling smear after smear. Because it's easier for them to smear the American people than to recognize what they're doing to this country. And where I come from, we call that cowardice. We refuse. I refuse to let this become our reality. It is our duty. It is our right as Americans to dissent when democracy is under threat. Let me be clear. Democracy dies when we are silent. But democracy is reborn when we speak with courage. And authoritarianism cannot withstand truth. And it crumbles under the power of love and dissent. And as leaders before me have said, courage is not the absence of fear. It is the choice to act despite of it. And for what it's worth, I am proud of each and every courageous leader that is taking the streets today. We are peaceful because we know that's how real change is created. We are fighting because we love our communities and we love our country. We are using our voices because it is our God-given American right. And anyone who says otherwise is not only lying to the American people, they are lying to themselves, and I don't know how they sleep at night. And like we say in the South, a hit dog will holler, and I'm hearing a lot of hollering coming from the Capitol building. The American people are pissed. And I would like to say before I go, I want to thank every last one of you. I want to thank all the organizers with 5051. I want to thank Political Revolution, who's a national partner. But I want to thank our children. I want to thank our teachers. I want to thank your hearts for doing this and being out here in the street when they tried to make you afraid. The message today will be crystal clear, and they won't be able to ignore it. There will be no kings in America. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. Thank you.
Please welcome to our stage Oliver Marino from Immigrant Legal Resource Center and member of El Colectivo de Familias Migrantes, and Afeni Evans, community organizer with the Fair Budget Coalition.
Thank you. Good morning. Earlier this year, as the Trump administration began its anti-immigrant attacks from the White House, the Colectivo de Familias Migrantes, a group of DC families and organizers, came together to find community and ways to protect each other. We knew what was coming and why we needed to fight back, organize, and take care of each other. In the last few months, we have witnessed masked ICE agents, National Guard, and DC's own Metropolitan Police Department work together to abduct our community members. People have been detained while going to work, at local parks, in front of schools. Hundreds of people have been separated from their families, their loved ones, and our community. This is still happening. Just a few blocks from here, people have been racially profiled, handcuffed, and put in vehicles and taken. Sometimes they're transferred to detention centers hundreds of miles away in states like Louisiana, Alabama, and Georgia, away from family and away from legal counsel. And to be clear, here in DC, the anti-immigrant attacks have come not only from the White House, but also from our own mayor, Mayor Bowser. Mayor Bowser tried to repeal DC's Sanctuary Values Act, a local law that limits collaboration between MPD, the local police, and ICE. But while politicians have failed us, it's been DC residents that have stepped up. We have seen our people go out and film ICE's abuses in the streets, share Know Your Rights information, provide mutual support to families of people detained, and organize to protect their immigrant neighbors. This is the moment to show solidarity, to reject attempts to dehumanize and criminalize our immigrant community, to hold our elected officials accountable, and to force them to stand up to an authoritarian administration that does not care about due process and people's constitutional rights. In order for the Trump administration to carry out its plans, it needs compliance from the public and from local governments. We must not comply. We need to do all that's in our power to protect immigrant families and our neighbors. We need us. We need you. We need each other to protect families, not feds. Thank you.
Peace, y'all. My name is Afeni, and I'm a community organizer with the Fair Budget Coalition here in DC. And this is my appeal. In 1792, when the French monarchy was abolished, the people established a new republic. When that one didn't quite work out, it was a military dictatorship, yikes. It was abolished in 1848, and a second republic was established. But that one didn't quite fit. So their third republic was erected in 1870. That republic didn't smell right, though. So they tried a fourth republic in 1946. And the republic that we are witnessing right now in France was established in 1958. My fellow Americans, I am here to tell you that the social contract in this country has been broken. Decades of movement work, progress, and struggle have been wiped out by Christian nationalists who seek dominion over every aspect of our lives. Long before ICE started terrorizing our streets, the police were gunning down black people in their homes, their cars, and in the streets in front of their communities. The construction of cop cities and the strengthening police state have threatened our urban centers for years. This current escalation in state violence is nothing more than an extension that the violence that marginalized communities have been bearing the brunt of. This republic was sold as our American dream. Home of the free, land of the brave. Yet, it has produced the outcome that we are currently experiencing. A system that edifies oligarchs and creates false monarchs. The society that we live in is what got us here. It is what brought us to this fever pitch, but we do not have to stay here. Now, more than ever, we need to reimagine a society that holds all of our humanity to the highest priority. We need a humane economy. We need well-funded public education. We need affordable housing and health care that does not bankrupt families that are just trying to get by. We need strategic youth investment in music, arts, and recreation. Our children need access to full, clean water and fresh food. In this moment, we need community, we need compassion, we need love and radical imagination, and most importantly, we need each other. Because the social contract has been broken.
They're having the rallies because they don't want the fascist direction this country is going in. That's why this rally is happening. To say, we do not want kings, meaning we do not want to go backwards in which we used to have kings. So we don't want to go backwards. We want to go forward. We want to progress. That's the point of this rally. Don't be disingenuous. Please don't be that. We only deal in reality over here, okay?
But we, the people, must revive it. We, the people, can be stewards for a land of the free. We, the people, can be brave and make this broken house into a home for all of us. Because we are the source of power in this country. Our labor, our taxes, and our faith keep this system going. So we must have the revolutionary hope that collectively we, the powerful people, have the capacity to create something better. I'm here to tell you that we must be audacious in our pursuit of fulfilling that generational mandate. Because with public sentiment, nothing can fail. And without it, this system cannot succeed.
And now, welcome to the Snow King stage, an American science educator, engineer, comedian, television presenter, inventor, keynote speaker, and author. He is a respected champion of scientific literacy, who has challenged opponents of evidence-based education and policy on climate change, evolution, and critical thinking. Please welcome Bill Nye, the Science Guy.
Holy shit, I ain't never seen Bill Nye. I thought he was dead or something. Bill Nye is really a science guy? Oh, shit. Who's looking at Bill? The hell?
Woo! We love that song, Hello, D.C.
They didn't hate B. Wyatt. They didn't hate Biden like they hate Trump. That's
Fellow
why.
citizens, it is wonderful to see so many of us out here today. We are here for the same reason our ancestors gathered here in 1776. We want our government to run without a king. Our government is based on ideas embodied in the Constitution. Among other remarkable features, it guarantees our freedom to speak, as we're doing here today. Rather than doing one monarch's bidding, we have agreed to form a democracy, to work together, and to follow the laws that derive from
They're
it.
making sure ain't nobody
No
finna shoot
thrones.
their ass.
No crowns, no kings.
You do know Ultra
As many of
Kryptonian,
you
that's
know,
against
I'm
the
a native
Constitution, right?
Washingtonian.
You do know that, right?
I grew up here within the city boundaries. And when you grow up here, the affairs of the federal government are very much a part of your life. I remember well sitting on my father's shoulders and waving to astronauts as we, as a nation, celebrated their accomplishments back in 1964. In 1964, that was the first year my parents could vote for president as citizens of the District of Columbia. We still do not have voting representation in the district. Someday, perhaps. I remember well Martin Luther King's dream and Resurrection City, the plywood structures on the National Mall erected to house protesters who came to town demanding equal rights.
I wonder, are they gonna have better speakers than this? You know, more well-known speakers or some shit?
I remember well the Vietnam War. The mall was shoulder to shoulder, much as it is today. Traffic stopped citywide. The protest movement expanded. There were protests around the country, and the war was ended. We are protesting in the same fashion today. Only today, the stakes are higher. Rather than abandoning a war against an elusive, perhaps sometimes imaginary foe, we are confronting the possible end of our republic. We are here to tell our lawmakers that what's going on in our government
I am
is
at work,
wrong.
Ultra Kryptonian.
They must stop the abuses of
All
this
work,
petulant
no
president
play.
and his circle of sycophants.
I'm winning.
No thrones, no crowns, no kings. This president and his associates cannot tolerate dissent. To them, our free speech is frightening. They are arresting people and denying due process in courts. They tried to silence television hosts. They're trying to indict civil servants, prosecutors, judges, even their own cabinet members. But in this
The president
land,
is trash. I
these
think
sorts
that's
of actions
enough.
are not new.
I think that's good
In
enough to protest.
1776, our
Our
ancestors
president is
had
trash.
enough. They declared independence from a king by means of a document stored safely right over there on Constitution Avenue in the National Archives. Although it was conceived 249 years ago, the Declaration of Independence describes a train of abuses connected with an absolute authority, a king with absolute power. No thrones, no crowns, no kings.
And do you honestly believe people out there paying people to protest? That don't even make no sense. That don't even make no sense, Zach. Y'all love to say that. Just because somebody getting paid don't mean they don't feel what they protesting about. And I doubt very seriously any of those people are out there getting paid to protest. How much they paying? $10 an hour? Come on now. You got to put your thinking cap on. Stop talking dumb.
Their king had refused to honor the law. Their king had refused to let lawmakers be elected. The king had made court judges dependent on his will. They cited the king sending, quote, swarms of officers to harass our people. Their language referred to, quote, cruelty and faithlessness scarcely paralleled in the most barbarous of ages. Their king was trying to, quote,
that's your problem, Zach. You think it's propaganda. We think the president is trash. If you think the president is trash, then you would be out there protesting. The people who think he's trash is out there protesting. That ain't propaganda. Your president is just trash.
Rendered the military independent and superior to civil power. Our founders even censured King George for cutting off trade with all parts of the world. Did these actions sound familiar? 249 years later, no crowns, no thrones, no king. In short, the founders believed their king was, in their words, quote, totally unworthy to be the head of a civilized nation. No thrones, no crowns, no kings. Although the United Nations has been the world's leader, and although the United States has been the world's leader in science for decades, this president and the members of his cabinet even fail to accept scientific facts. Contrary to Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution, they do not promote the progress of science. They suppress it to the detriment of our health, well-being, and international competitiveness. It is a formula for failure. How did we get here? It hasn't been one instance of abuse of the power of executive order by this president. It hasn't been just one twist in a court ruling. Instead, it has been years in the making. Enabled by this president, a group of Confederates has worked together to undo many of our traditions and understandings of fairness and of citizens' rights. And they've done this through an odd legal tactic to overwhelm our court system with legal game after legal game, trying to hold or impound money secretly in order to let legal deadlines pass, to pretend that people they don't know, who are from different backgrounds, are somehow not quite citizens and not worthy of respect under the law. No thrones, no crowns, no kings. Let us now raise our voices. We are here demanding a return to the rule of law. Let the world know that we will suffer no king. We will put the United States back on a course to lead the world in fair governance. Together, no thrones, no crowns, no kings. Thank you all. Let's change the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, now please welcome Ai-jen Poo, a care advocate and organizer who serves as executive director of Caring Across Generations and president of the National Domestic Workers Alliance and Care in Action, and Randy Weingarten, president of the American Federation of Teachers.
Hello, DC! Let me hear you say no kings! I'm so proud to share the stage today with my brilliant friend and sister hero, Randy Weingarten. And I bring greetings from the great city of Chicago. And I bring love from the caregivers all over this country, caregivers and workers who guard the safety and well-being of our children and enable the dignity and agency of older people and disabled people in our lives all over this country. We are out marching in cities and towns all over this country today.
Some of y'all can be so damn hateful. Some of y'all can be so damn hateful. Y'all Republicans don't stand for nothing. Y'all don't stand for nothing. That's all you hear is hate, hate, hate in the chat. I don't see nothing positive. Y'all don't never bring nothing positive to these conversations. It's always about hating something. We hate the Dems. We hate the libtard. We hate people who protest. We hate the trans. We hate the gays. Y'all don't stand for nothing. Start standing for stuff. Damn. We tired of doing all the standing over here on the left. Y'all don't stand for nothing. Y'all just hate, hate, hate. On one side or the other, it'd be nothing but hate. That's wild to me. Nothing but hate. Jesus. Come on.
To fight for our democracy and say no kings. And what I've just been told, that in New York City, there are more people in Times Square than there are on New Year's Eve.
No, I absolutely do what I'm talking about. You come in the chat. Oh, what about Biden? Oh, y'all just protesting for nothing. Y'all don't have nothing to be mad at. Y'all don't X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z. Nothing but hate. You ain't got nothing positive to say about nothing. Nothing but hate. Yeah, y'all the party of hate. Young Hitler, the fucking leaked messages, everything. Just a party of hate. You hate blacks, you hate libs, you hate trans, you hate gays. What y'all do? It's all hate from y'all side. No, you ain't seen not one Democrat say nothing about hating no Republican. You ain't seen one Democrat in here say that. All y'all done talked about when y'all walked into this chat was hating. Just wild. Y'all ain't got nothing y'all stand on. Nothing.
I want to thank my colleague and friend and sister, Ijen, for all of her advocacy. And she knows, like I know, you cannot do any of the things that Ijen talked about if we do not have a democracy. And
Kool-Aid, I think the same thing. I think it's just a Trojan horse to let them folks into our country and then something happen. Just letting it happen. Letting them build an airport, whoever, Qatar build an airport over here. That's something gonna happen bad. Watch.
Today, we are saying we are fighting for our democracy. We in the labor movement are fighting for a democracy and a voice in it so we can secure a better life for all working people. All of God's children. Better wages, affordable health care and child care, good schools for children, and a secure retirement. Tell me, what is radical about all of that?
Keep whatever, Ultra, Krypton, whatever. That's all y'all deal in is hate. Y'all deal in hate. I hate gays. I hate trans. I hate blacks. I hate brown. I hate immigration. I hate abortion. Y'all, that's all y'all do is hate. I ain't seen not one of y'all Republicans put nothing in the chat that y'all for, that everybody can get on board with. Not one of y'all put nothing in the damn chat that's for what y'all believe or y'all want to promote. Not one of y'all. It's always coming in here hating. I hate gays. I hate trans. I hate abortions. I hate it. I hate the blacks. I hate the whites. I hate immigration. That's all we hear y'all say.
But today, I speak not only as the proud leader of a 1.8 million member union of people who make a difference in the lives of others.
Ultra Krypton, no, y'all not America first, because y'all allowing this stuff to happen. You're allowing this Trump to circumvent the Constitution. You're allowing him to do all of those things. So when you're allowing your president to do all of those things without protesting, you're not America first. You're not America first. Hey, you hate gays, you hate trans, you hate blacks, you hate white. You hate all these things. There you go, bringing up babies killed, though. Can't bring up nothing y'all for. Nothing that y'all for. We already got socialism here, Michaels. Jackass, we already got socialism here. What are you talking about? Man, y'all dumb and y'all don't know how to stand for nothing.
But I speak as a teacher, a high school social studies teacher. Yes, let's hear it for the teachers of America. A teacher who taught students about the Constitution and its underlying principle, we the people. We the people are a country that is governed by the rule of law, not the rule of one man. We are governed by fairness, not fear or favor. Now, this idea, as you've heard before, see, you can go and say, if you're kids right now, this is your homework for the weekend, okay? This idea has been a constant for 249 years, since the Declaration of Independence, and the notion made famous by the Gettysburg Address of a government by, for, and of the people. Say it again, by, for, and of the people. Now, we know the founders were not perfect, but they had one abiding principle, and that is, and what?
This is a protest against fascism, against the direction that this country is going in. Anybody read 2025? This is exactly how the country is going, the direction 2025. Most people do not want it to go in that direction. Y'all can't even stay on topic. Y'all can't even stay on topic. Y'all, some of y'all in the chat talking about Soros, abortion. You talking about all kinds of wild stuff. Has nothing to do with the way this direction this government is going. No, Antifa, Jesus. Antifa means anti-fascist, Tigress. Jesus. Y'all dumb and y'all don't stand for nothing. You don't stand for nothing. You just hate, hate, hate. You don't stand for nothing.
Was that we as a nation should never, ever again be ruled by a tyrant or a king. That was as true today as it was back then. And that is why millions of people today from all walks of life are turning out at these.
You care about abortion, but you don't care about the kid when the kid get here. No, Michaels, you stop listening to the. See, that's the whole point. You don't read. I can't help it if you don't read, Michaels. I can't help it. It's just like talking to sheep. Just like talking to sheep. You don't actually look up the definition of nothing. You don't look up the definition of nothing. If you knew Antifa was anti-fascist, we wouldn't even be having this discussion. But you don't read. You just listen to Fox News or somebody crazy or somebody wild. Y'all don't stand for nothing. It's hard to talk to people who don't stand for nothing. Yes, that's correct. Anti-fascism is patriotic. We don't want a fascist government. And this president is going down the fascist route. Y'all don't stand for nothing. That's all you do is come in here and call people names. You hate gays, you hate trans, you hate abortion, you hate blacks, you hate whites, you hate browns, you hate immigration. That's all y'all do is hate. Man, this is wild. That's all it is hate on y'all side. That's why we never can go over there, because y'all don't know how to stand for nothing. It's never a matter of hate. Y'all don't stand for nothing. Just nothing.
Thousands of events, Republicans, Democrats, independents, black, brown, white, this 68-year-old Jewish baby boomer Muslim small business owners.
Ultra Crimpton, if you believe me saying y'all don't stand for anything is hate, then you're more down the rabbit hole than I think. You're more down the rabbit hole than I think. If you think me telling you that that's all you doing is spreading hate, is me spreading hate. That's wild. That's wild.
Christian Gen Zers, this is, as iGen said, we are the majority of America. And what do we want? What do we want? We want the promise of America for everyone. We want a voice in our future. We are standing up in peaceful, patriotic protest, just like our founders called out. No thrones, no crowns, no kings. We are standing up because we don't want our streets militarized. We don't want our neighbors disappeared by masked Asians. We don't want our colleges forced to sign.
I have the flu. And look at the picture. Do I look like a man to you? Just wild. Fascism is the far right. Is on the far right. Anybody on the far right that deals with dictatorship, nationalism, control over people's lives. One strong leader. That's what it takes. One strong leader in charge of everything. No real freedom. My country above everything else. Violence and fear and jailing to control people. Everything this president has started to put into place. Y'all wild. I don't even think I said anything about white people, Rosie. I don't even know where you get that. That's what I said. Y'all spread hate. Y'all don't stand on nothing. Republicans don't stand on nothing.
Loyalty oaths. We don't want what? We don't want public officials arrested on trumped up political charges. And this is a little different. We want our federal government to fix the healthcare crisis that was created by the big ugly bill Republicans passed in July.
Yes, it was created by the big ugly bill that was passed in July. That's the whole point. They don't want to give people health care. They want to take away Medicaid. That right there is the cruelty of the situation. And the real fucked up part is most 70% of the people that are going to lose their health care are Republicans. And they voted for this shit. They voted for this shit. Talk about fucking dumb sheep following somebody off the cliff. They voting to take y'all down the fucking chute. Republicans down the fucking chute with them. And they all in. You all in for the party that's taking you down the chute. That's wild.
We want a president who will keep healthcare premiums down, bring down the cost of groceries and housing, strengthen public schools, make college affordable.
If you think that Medicaid is only for able-bodied people or illegals, I'd already told you down the rabbit hole. I'm not addressing you anymore because you don't research, you don't read, you don't do nothing. Because you just spout talking points that you hear from goofy individuals. You don't do no research, Tigress. So stop talking because you're uneducated and you don't plan to educate yourself.
And embrace workers' rights. Again, what is radical about any of that? Exactly. We want the president to spend.
It already has been cut, Digress. It already has been put in the budget to be cut, Digress. I'm done having a conversation with you because you're too dumb to even look it up. You saying propaganda. You're too dumb to even look it up. It was in the big, beautiful bill where they cut Medicaid. Please start. I can't talk to dumb people. I can't do it.
Spend his time solving our country's problems, not settling scores with political opponents. We want a future that is based on fairness and justice and the rule of law, not chaos, corruption, or cruelty. So, I'm going to end with a couple of labor slogans here.
Okay,
Because,
I'll give it to you.
my friends, we are in an existential fight. And right now, we all have to organize and be stronger and bolder because no one is going to save us but ourselves. So, we got a lot of sayings in labor, but the first one is, when we fight, when we fight, when we fight, and the second is, the people united will...
Now please welcome the co-founder of Votes Matter Fund and one of the leading voices on votes, Cliff Albright. He is joined by 10th grader Zion, a youth student advocate from the Trigger Project.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Zion Stewart. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Zion Stewart, and I'm from W Street Southeast, better known as Traverse City. I grew up around a lot of trauma and violence like many kids in my neighborhood. I got connected to the Trigger Project through one of my mentors. Going through Trigger University, I felt something I never felt before. A safe space, people who believed in me, and a chance to learn the real causes and the disease of gun violence. More police doesn't fix what's really going on. It just adds more confusion and chaos. It doesn't heal our pain. It doesn't give us opportunities or make us feel safe in our neighborhoods. Saying fuck Trump. Saying fuck Trump or fuck ICE would be what he expects from me, but that's not what we need. What we need is prevention, support, and spaces where black youth can thrive. If every home had the support it needed, if every community member was emotionally aware and mentally healthy, if schools didn't push us towards the prison pipeline, and if the city invested in me before the first time I was profiled, we wouldn't be here. Youth are the solution, not the problem. We deserve to be understood, not blamed or preyed upon. Free DC, we are prevention. Thank you.
Y'all give it up again for Zion. Last time I was here, was speaking at a rally like this, was 2021 for the Freedom Rides, when Black Voters Matter.
Lisa, you got to start doing your research, okay? Stop spouting garbage facts. Your white people are 4 times our population. Of course, there's more of them in prison than us. Stop spouting garbage.
And dozens of other organizations organized for voting rights legislation, like the John Lewis Voting Rights Advancement Act and the For the People Act. I got you, sis. And HR 51, DC statehood. When I say DC, you say statehood. DC. DC. We organized for those voting rights because we knew that we'd be in a moment like this. A moment where we have a wannabe dictator and a do-nothing Congress trying to take away our voting rights, trying to cancel elections and purge voters from the rolls. We knew it was coming. Just this week, the Supreme Court heard a case that could put the final death blow to the Voting Rights Act. It could eliminate black representation for black communities, and it can create at least 19 seats that are currently protected by the Voting Rights Act would be eliminated by many of these red states. And this is happening at a time when we are seeing mid-decade redistricting in places like Texas and Missouri because we have somebody who wants to be a king. We have somebody who, just like he said to Georgia, go find me 11,700 votes. He's trying to tell these states, go find me 10 extra congressional seats, or 15 seats, or 20 seats. And this could create a permanent one-party rule at the expense of black voters and black communities. But like so many other issues that are rooted in anti-blackness, that sickness won't just stay within the black community, it affects this entire country. And so we join you in saying no kings. But we gotta go beyond no kings, because the last time that call was made in 1776, 1/4 of this country's population was enslaved. And so we've got to go beyond no kings. We've got to recognize that they have used divide and conquer ever since that time in 76, or ever since 1619, to keep us divided, to divide those who were enslaved from those who were poor whites, to divide us from those indigenous brothers and sisters. They've been using that divide and conquer tactic, and they're still using it today to keep us divided, all of our communities. But I've got some good news for you, because what I know is this: if divide and conquer is one of the oldest tricks in the books, then by definition, one of the most revolutionary acts of resistance is simply to be united. For us to stand together.
I voted for Obama and Clinton. Every time a Democrat gets into office, our economy thrives. That's why I vote for Democrats. I put all 10 things that I would like to happen in the chat. Now, I would love to see what you Republicans, 10 things that you Republicans would like to see reformed on in our country. I don't never see y'all come up with 10 things that will help our country. I'm talking about help our country. All I hear is y'all come up with hate. Y'all don't never come up with no ideas about helping our country. Not just helping you, helping the country. But y'all can't never come up with 10, because you always come up with shit that don't help nobody, because y'all don't stand for nothing. No, that ain't nothing we can put into play, Tigress. Put something that you believe in. Something that can help all of the Americans, not just you, all of the Americans, and not a goddamn concept. Y'all can't come up with none. Those are my 10. That's what I stand for. That's what Democrats stand for. I don't know what y'all stand for. I ain't heard it yet.
Together, to stand together, to sing together, to laugh together, to cry together, to fight together. Power to the people, yes, because what I also know is this: their hate cannot beat our love. And when I talk about our love,
Jessica.
I'm not talking about a Valentine's Day kind of love. I'm talking about a radical love.
And that's the problem, Ultra Kryptonian. Us Democrats do believe in deportation. We believe in deportation, and we believe in giving people amnesty. The problem is the president is going about it in an inhumane way. There's a better way to do it. Not dragging people out of cars, not dragging people from their family, not dragging people out of school or immigration hearings. It can be done in a very humane way. But he's not doing that. So no, we don't give a damn about the ICE. That's why we have a problem with it. See, y'all disingenuous. Y'all act like y'all don't know why we are upset about ICE. Y'all think it's because we love the immigrants. That's not the reason. I'm telling you the reason. So don't fucking tell me something else.
You might have to flip over the money changes tables kind of love. I'm talking about a love that is merged with power, because those two things are not opposite, they go together. As Dr. King told us, power without love is reckless and abusive, but love without power is sentimental and anemic. That's what I'm talking about. He went on to say that power at its best is love implementing the demands of justice, and justice at its best is power correcting everything that stands against love. That's what we need. And when we have that kind of love and power, when we walk in that kind of love and power that sees all of our communities, from Vermont all the way to Memphis, from LA all the way over to DC, especially Southeast DC. When we walk in that kind of love and power, there ain't nothing that I want to be a small, petty dictator. There ain't nothing that he can do to stop us. Because when we walk in that kind of love and power, there's nothing that we can't do. But we've got to believe we've got that power. Do y'all believe? Do you believe? Let me hear you say, I believe. Let me hear you say it with all your heart from the depths of your soul. Say, I believe. Let me see you put a fist up and say it so loud that the wannabe small man in the White House can hear you say, I believe. And when we believe, then we will truly build the society that we want. And that society will have no king.
And I'm here today as a proud transgender. We didn't even know the word. But they gave us the love and the support that we needed to thrive. And now I'm a dad with an amazing family of my own. And I gotta tell you, that's what freedom looks like. The freedom to live and to be and to raise our families as we and will. The truth is, no one rally's gonna save us. No court ruling, no single election will save us. We have to save ourselves. We have to build workplaces that are safe, classrooms that are welcoming, communities where we see each other not as our enemies, but as our neighbors. And we must always resist the temptation.
I'm still waiting on that list from you Republicans about what do you stand for. If most Democrats stand for what I just put in the chat, those 10 things, it may vary here and there about what they believe in, but most Democrats believe in what I just put in the chat. They may vary on what's important and what's not, but most of them believe in what I believe in, different variations of it. Okay, so I'm asking you Republicans, what y'all believe in? What's y'all 10 things that y'all can put on the board that y'all, no. You saw what I put in the board on the chat. Those are practical things that they can put into place right now if they want to. What's things that y'all can put into place that y'all want done that helps all Americans, not just y'all? What I believe in is illegal. Dennis, I can't help you if you ain't gonna think. I can't help you if you don't think. I can't help you. I can't help y'all if y'all don't think. That's what I said. Y'all don't stand for nothing. Here y'all are giving me hate. George Soros, slavery. What you believe in is illegal. Everything. Democrats had the lowest approval in history. All y'all come with is hate. Y'all don't never come with no solutions. That's why I hate when Republicans get into power, because they don't know how to govern the people. They don't concern themselves about the people, and so are those. Yeah, I know. You're brainwashed. It's not my fault. You still ain't came up with 10 things, truth. When you come up with 10 things, start talking. Otherwise, shut the fuck up, because you don't have no solutions. The Republicans never have no solutions. All they hear is hate. Hate gays, hate trans, hate brown, hate black, hate immigrants, hate abortion. Hate. They don't have no positive nothing. Just, wow. Nothing positive. George Soros. Who the fuck is George Soros to us now? Nothing. And you still talking about that in the chat. Lord help you. Lord help y'all.
To believe only in the worst of this country. That's what he wants. He wants us to be defeated. Are we going to be defeated? No. He wants us to be silent. Are we going to be silenced? No. He wants us to be scared. Are we scared? No. You know, we have the power to build a better tomorrow. LGBTQ plus people, we live in
Joe, don't nobody give a damn about the woman being a man and man being a woman. I ain't never met none, so I don't give a fuck about it. Why you give a fuck about it? Do you run into them motherfuckers every day? No, you don't. So why the fuck you worried about trans and gay? That's all y'all do is come over here and hate. Y'all don't stand for nothing. You against everything, but you don't stand for nothing. I just gave y'all 10 things in which I stand 10 toes down on. Most Democrats will stand 10 toes down on those things that I just put in the chat. What y'all stand 10 toes down on to help the American people? Not now one of y'all got one thing y'all can stand 10 toes down on. That's all y'all come over and do is hate. What the hell is going on? You hate the gays, you hate the trans, you hate the brown, you hate the black, you hate the abortion, you hate all of this. What do you stand on? What can help the American people? I gave y'all 10 things. I put it in the chat. 10 things that can help the American people if they decided to enact them one way or the other. Y'all can't even give me 10 things that if y'all put it into place, it would help the Americans. All y'all do is hate.
Every zip code and are from every background. We were born here and we immigrated here. We come from red families and from blue families. And we are here to say that this is our America too. No one knows that better. No one knows that better than my friend and a tireless public servant who's on stage with me today. A true patriot who knows.
I typed 10 things in the chat in which Democrats believe on. And then I asked the Republicans to put 10 things in the chat in which they can enact that makes our country better. Y'all just scroll up and look at the 10 things that I typed in the chat. Give me 10 things that y'all believe in. Otherwise, I don't think y'all stand on nothing. It's just hate. Hating the gays, the black, the trans, the whites, the immigrants. That's all I hear is hate. I don't hear nothing about what you love, what you want, how you want this country to go, and not none of this lofty, fictitious stuff. Practical examples like I want minimum wage raised. I want term limits on our politicians. I want flat tax. Y'all ain't got none of that. Y'all just come with hate. I ain't seen not nail person put nothing in the chat. Not one Republican.
Knows the cost of freedom. I'm proud to
Something
pass
y'all
the
stand
mic
on.
to
Not
former
one thing.
Assistant Secretary of Defense for Readiness and our HRC board member, Sean Skelly.
I ain't said jack shit
Good
about white
afternoon,
people,
DC.
Neptune. Not one damn thing.
As Jay said, I'm Sean Skelly, a retired Navy officer, a former Assistant Secretary of Defense, and I serve on the board of the Human Rights Campaign. I'm an out proud trans woman who loves our country, who's put my life on.
Tigress. That's wild. It's about 5 million channels on this YouTube, and you brought your ass over here. Really? That's the hate I'm talking about. That's the hate I'm talking about. Instead of hating, instead of put your stuff up against mine, put your wants for the country up against mine, you can't even do that. Y'all can't even do that. It's got to be at least 10 of y'all in here. List them one at a time and let's go over them. How good could they be? How bad could they be? Y'all can't even do that. You come in here and hate.
On the line for our country and our rights. And I will fight for it now using all the rights that the Constitution gives us, and I swore an oath to defend. I was proud to recently serve alongside thousands of transgender service members who have served with honor, skill, and courage. They have protected us while their own.
Aaron, I just let this video play until I got enough hate and enough feedback, and they asked me what did I believe in, and I put the 10 things in the chat that I believed in, and I said match what I put in the chat. Don't come over and be mad. Match what I put in the chat. I put 10 things that Democrats believe in. No, that's all they got to do is put down one and type what they believe so everybody else can see what they believe and we can see what they believe. That's it. I haven't seen one Republican yet put something in the chat about what they want to enact in the country.
Commander-in-Chief and Secretary of Defense have vilified them and denied their right to exist. Anyone who serves in uniform deserves so much better than what this tainted chain of command has to offer. This administration targets these brave Americans because of its wanton campaign to drive me and all of my transgender brothers and sisters out of our country, out of our society, out of the protection of our laws, and into some dark, dangerous corner that they are inventing. This
Truth, I still haven't seen your platform. I still haven't seen what you want to bring to the table. That's all I'm saying. I haven't seen nobody come to the table with nothing. I'm the only person that puts stuff in the chat. I ain't seen not now one of y'all do that. That's all I'm saying.
This wannabe autocrat can't allow transgender Americans to serve honorably and successfully in our military, which is the highest regarded institution in America, when they have chosen all transgender Americans, already some of the most at-risk and vulnerable people in this country, to be their autocratic other, the people to be feared, scorned, and blamed because of their shameless lies, hateful lies that they tell about the danger that trans people supposedly bring to our society, and somehow upset the utopia that the dear leader promised us is around every corner. The American people respect those who put on their uniform, who protect them, and serve at the risk of their lives for people we don't even know. We're here today.
I don't care about him pretending to be a woman, because I probably would never meet him. But I do support his right to be a human being here in this country. I do support his right to be in this country. I don't care one way or the other.
Because generations of Americans have bet their lives and their families' future on the promise of a more perfect union.
All right.
The oath I took 10 times over 35 years of service in uniform and as a civilian means to every person who ever took it in good faith, and I'm going to quote the former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Mark Milley, "We don't take an oath to a king or a queen or to a tyrant or dictator. We don't take an oath to a wannabe dictator. We don't take an oath to an individual. We take an oath to the Constitution, and we take an oath to the idea that is America, and we're willing to die to protect it." To put it simply, no kings. We demand justice for our transgender service members. We demand justice and civil rights for every transgender American. We demand justice and democracy for every single American. No kings. Thank you.
And now, please welcome to the stage, Nene Taylor, Executive Director of Harriet's Wildest Dream, and Kaya Chatterjee, Executive Director of Free DC.
Hello. Y'all come on in. Hey, y'all supposed to put in the chat. I'm still
Welcome
waiting.
to DC.
They ain't
I
got
hear
10.
y'all
I
say
haven't seen 10
welcome
things
to
yet.
DC. I'm Nene Taylor. I'm the co-founder and executive director of Harriet's Wildest Dreams.
Uh-oh, you gotta learn
named
how to
after
talk,
our
lady.
ancestor Harriet.
She gotta learn how to talk. Hey, Aaron. Hello. Oops. Hey, Aaron. Are we there? What the hell? Can you hear me?
Harriet Tubman.
Wait a minute, hold
I
on.
am also the co-founder of Free DC. I was born and raised right here in Southeast Washington, D.C.
There we go.
As many of you know, we are in a state of grief for the loss of our freedom fighter, Assata Shakur. We honor her life, her...
Don't time nobody out. They don't, unless they personally offend you. They don't offend me, not at all. Not at all. I know who I am. They don't defend me at all.
courage,
Hey, Aaron. Hey, Aaron, you came up. What happened? Can we hear you? Uh-oh, nope.
And her teaching. She told us that we need a revolution of the mind and a revolution of the heart. These words still lead me because this work begins in how we show up for one another, how we care for one another, and how we show up for one another. Washington, D.C. is a black home. We come here to Washington, D.C. That is what you came here to Washington, D.C. That's what you're stepping into. A home built by black hands, held together by black love, guarded by generations who refuse to leave. The people of D.C. have been teaching, protecting, and fighting for this city long before most of you start paying attention. We have been.
You don't block anybody out unless they just get absolutely offensive. Most people don't offend me. You could say a lot of things. I love the debate. I would love for you to come up and then debate your idea. Come on up on the stage and say what you want to say. Be respectful. I put in the chat 10 things in which I believed in, that I think the Democrats believe in. I'm still waiting on 10 things from the Republicans that they believe in that will help our country. And that don't mean come up here and spew abortion rights, trans rights, gay rights. That ain't got nothing to do with moving our country forward. I'm talking about actual things that move our country forward.
Living and breathing the consequences of racist policies, displacement, and over-policing since post-Civil War. We have been demanding and calling for D.C. to become a state. We need D.C. statehood now.
Mic check.
D.C. statehood
Yeah, you hear?
now.
I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you. Okay.
Good.
You good? You good?
First,
yeah.
Let me first show gratitude and thank you for opening up the panel so that the discussion can actually be had in an efficient manner.
Okay.
You know me pretty well, and you know that I promise to maintain the highest.
I just came to play the rally, and then people just started coming for me. I was silent at the beginning because I was like, let everybody do the rally. We want to see the rally, and that's it. I had no intention of talking back until people started. Well, I don't want to say that. They weren't doing that. Forget it. How are you, Aaron?
Is to just play the rally. I'll be on my way. I thought this was a conversation.
Oh, okay. No. Go ahead. I mean,
it's your channel. I don't mean to,
You came up because you had something to say. Please say it.
Well, right. So, I mean, ultimately, I don't support either the Democratic or the Republican Party. I think they're both full of it. Mm-hmm. However, there are some issues I have with the Democratic Party, especially a father of an 8-year-old girl, and with the way they handle transgender rights. Mm-hmm. It's handled in a way that I personally think would pose a threat to my daughter, mm-hmm. especially in the arena of athletics or in the arena of simple municipality issues, like with a bathroom, for example. Mm-hmm. I need bathrooms to be highly segregated. I need, whenever someone sees someone go into the bathroom that looks unusual, that needs to be, all antennas need to be up. Because there's nothing to say someone who is an essayer is, there's nothing to say they won't cosplay as a transgender person just to get into the bathroom, and follow my, let's say we're at the airport and follow my little girl into the bathroom. Mm-hmm. Because now lives have to be lost, right? Let's boil down to it. That's what's going to go down,
right?
So it's issues like that, and same thing with athletics. I see these things on the internet where these little boys and these little girls are engaging in wrestling competition. But number one, that's nothing that can continue on into their teenhood or adulthood, because men they're going to dominate. Period. There's no place for even an exceptional woman in male athletics or for a transgender male in female athletics. We're just not built for that to happen successfully.
Mm-hmm.
And I think even at the most adolescent level, boys should compete with boys and girls should compete with girls, because men and women do not need to see each other as competition. And in the first 7 to 10 years of your life, who you are is going to be structured. And if you're putting into the minds of young boys and girls that we are each other's competition, you will have essentially a stage where the nuclear family is going to be easily ripped apart, because we don't see each other as partners or co-stars, but competition.
Uh-oh. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. It zoomed out. Yeah, I understand your comment, and I completely agree with you 100%.
So that's one of the main issues I have with the Democratic Party, how they really are pushing narratives and propaganda and legislation to support everything that I detest and disagree with in that arena. And there's some other arenas, but that one I think is easiest to articulate and understand, especially because my daughter is literally 9 feet behind me.
Yeah, but are you
The
okay?
8-year-old daughter. I said 12, 8-year-old. She's 12 feet behind me. Sorry.
Right. I understand you completely, and I support that view. No, I don't want that particular thing happening, with my grandchildren or promoting that kind of thing. But see, here's the thing. For me, I'm saying for me, there's different levels to the overall goals or missions of this country. To me, you think of that as it might be a different. No, how do I say this? If I had to rank the importance of things, that would not be in my top 3 things that I would worry about when it comes to this country. That would not be my top 3. So, I mean, it's important to you, it's important to me. But for you, it might be number 1 or 2. For me, it would be 7 or 8. I'm not saying it's not important. I'm just saying it's not important in the overall direction we need to go in this country. That's all I'm saying.
I understand. Why is it so low? Why isn't it in your first 4?
Because more important to me is getting our debt under control. More important to me is being out from being beholden to other nations. More important to me is taking care of our veterans, our elderly, and our handicapped. That's more important to me than something that may or may not occur when it comes to a transformer. May or may not occur. Of course, they might be pushing that agenda, but it's not more important than what's going on in the world, us supporting wars that we shouldn't be in, us leaving our homeless and our handicapped on the street to die. That's more important than the transgender agenda. So I'm not saying that it's not important, but it's not important. It's not the top 3 for me.
Is family in top 3?
As a collective, no. I mean, as an agenda, no. I'm talking about in terms of moving the country forward. My personal thing is my personal thing, but moving the country forward, though, that the fiscal responsibility and all of those things would be more important than the rest of the stuff. Someone having I don't believe in abortion, but I believe in your choice to have one. So therefore, it's not important on my list of personal things. No, that's not my top 5 things that I would be concerned about. Because
So,
that's if somebody has an abortion. That's if. That's not a definitive.
well, I was more or less just speaking about family, not necessarily a B, even though that influences family. I'm just talking about family overall.
Right. I'm just saying, I believe in I believe in us moving the country forward as a collective, not my personal choices. I don't believe in transgender. I don't believe in gay and all of that other stuff. I don't believe in that either. But that's not important to me. what's important to me is dealing with our people today, our handicapped, our elderly, getting fiscally responsible. Those are things that are important to move the country forward to me.
Understood. So would you agree that a nation is a collection of communities, and a community is a collection of neighborhoods, and a neighborhood is a collection of families?
Yeah.
So without the family, you can't have a nation. When you say that there's this collective idea, collectivism at the family level, at the first step away from individualism is coupling. You can't go from an individual to a nation without blowing by the coupling stage and then the family stage, which is where offspring is a result of coupling, and then the neighborhood stage, and then the community stage. So I think
but let's give an example. Just for example, we're talking about transunion people, not transunion, transform. I can only say transformer for the transformer community. For one, it doesn't affect me. I'm not transgender. I don't know any transgender people. Transgender people are human beings. Transgender people deserve rights just like I have rights. That's as far as I go with a transgender person, because it doesn't mean anything to me because I've never met a transgender person. I'm more than likely never going to meet a transgender person. More than likely, I'm never going to be in a bathroom with a transgender person. So that's not important to me. That's important to some people. I get that it's important, but it's not an overall way in which the direction the country should be going. True enough, that's an individual thing, but I'm talking about the nation as a whole. Do you agree that us getting our debt under control from other nations is important? Is that more important than transgender, or is it less important? I think it's more. I think getting our debt under control is more important than something that might happen. So that's all I'm saying.
Well, for me, I mean, to answer that question, I think transgenderism in and of itself is virtually inconsequential. It's when you start to shape the way society is legislated in ways that affects the nuclear family is where I begin to take issue.
So how does a transgender change the nuclear family in any way?
It doesn't. It's the legislation behind transgenderism, and I outlined that at the beginning of my.
I mean, I'm saying to you, those are priorities to you all. That you all, whoever believes that transgender should. I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's not important. You all seem to think we don't think that's important.
Well, finish your sentence. You had stopped because I want to make sure you're understanding what I'm saying.
No, I'm understanding that it's a personal choice, and it's a moral thing where you feel as though any legislation paints the moral fabric of our country.
No, that's not moral at all. See, that's the thing. What I outlined is not moral at all. It's very scientific.
So I'm saying, if it's scientific and it's not, explain it. Because I'm on the basic level here. I don't see how that affects everybody's life when we give rights to transgender people. I don't understand how that changes what I am.
When you say everybody, that all right, you got to be careful when you're using absolutes, because that's easy. You can use absolutes to do literally anything and everything. So I'm not going to go and support anything that has anything to do with everybody. That's virtually not possible. That everybody needs oxygen. It stops there. But what I'm saying,
feeding people and making sure. Well, we went over this conversation. I don't debate. If you don't believe in free lunch for every child to make sure every child can function, there's not a debate there for me.
When did I say that?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying for me, I'm saying for me, not you. I'm not saying that for you. I'm saying there are certain things that I just don't debate with people. I'm not debating it with you. I'm saying that's not a debate for me to make sure that children have school lunch, regardless of whether they're rich or poor, making sure children have school lunch. Okay, that's not a debate for me. I don't know where to go if it's not a moral thing for anybody else. That's all I'm saying. For me, I'm just saying that's a line that I'm not willing to cross with other people. We're not going to debate that. We're not going to debate giving veterans and elderly their just due. That's just not something I'm going to debate with, right along with poor children.
What
right?
does this have to do with transgenderism? I'm lost.
I'm saying transgender is something that we can argue about. It's on
That's
a
where I
level
was.
but I'm saying it's on a different level for you, but it's not on a level for me. That's all I'm saying.
But what I'm saying is, I'm talking about what it does to the whole LGBT thing. It's all about precedent, setting precedents. I don't know. You threw me for a loop with this free lunch thing. That was clever. I literally forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, I get what you're saying. I'm saying
I don't think you do because I haven't said it yet, and I've lost track of what I'm saying because now I'm thinking about free lunch, and I don't know.
No, you make it seem as though giving them rights will fundamentally change your rights.
No, that's not what I said. Not at all. Not even close.
So I'm on the wrong track. Okay, straighten me out.
What I'm saying is, when you set certain precedents, you will have a psychological effect on the community that will begin to tear apart the fabric of what holds community together. And it's not necessarily about transgenderism specifically. It's about what a lot of the legislation that's in favor of the LGBT community exclusively, the precedent that legislation sets. What I'm saying is human rights are human rights. Mm-hmm. If you're an LGBTQ person, you shouldn't have any rights that are exclusive from the rights that I have as a heterosexual family man. So why even acknowledge the community as something different? If you have the same rights that I don't have a right to walk into a woman's bathroom, nor do I want the right because I'm not a woman, not at least without being approached with some level of scrutiny. And I don't have an issue with that because I have an 8-year-old daughter. And it's not about the LGBT community, it's about the precedent it sets that allows the nefarious entities freedom to maneuver without scrutiny. So now if you have someone who is an essayer or a child rapist that wants to walk into the ladies' bathroom under the guise of being transgender to target my 8-year-old daughter, I am literally going to tear your fucking head off. And that's not something that, you know what I mean? Like that why create a law for them to be able to use the same bathroom when you can simply say, you're a man, use a men's room, you're a woman, use a woman's room. And that way, anything that looks like a man going in the woman's room will raise a level of suspicion that will keep my daughter just that much more safe. I'm not saying this is an absolute. I'm not saying that this is going to work ad infinitum. I'm saying, as you said, there are levels to things, and certain things are simply unnecessary, especially if we're talking about human rights. Why give another human a right just because they're in the LGBT community that I don't have without joining the LGBT community?
Okay, so why is it that we didn't have rights as Black people? Didn't we have to enact legislation for them to treat us as human beings just like everybody else, right?
Say that again.
Didn't they have to invent laws and things like that to treat us Black people as human beings? Didn't they have to do that? So
yes,
why wouldn't they do the same thing for a trans person?
I can answer your question. Because when we got started, we were not on an even playing field. We were looked at and treated as animals. There was legislation that slotted us in between humans and animals. LGBTQ community didn't have a starting point with legislation that slotted them as less than human. They still fell under the human rights condition because they lived with the human condition. They were just different.
But they still are treated less than human.
No, we're not talking about treatment. We're talking about legislation.
So there's no legislation for them, right? So they're creating.
because
So your
because there was
objection is them creating legislation for us to treat them right.
no. There was no legislation against them, so there's no need to create legislation for them to offset legislation that was for against them. For them to be treated right is simply a matter of people not being an asshole. You don't legislate behavior out of people. That's what that you know what that starts to look like?
Okay.
Fascism. When you legislate behavior out of people, the people just need to have human decency and respect for human, right? Laws and legislation are not for that.
Okay.
There was no legislation that had them at a deficit. There was legislation that had the black community at a deficit. If you think you're going to legislate people's behavior, that's a social engineering project I want no parts of. Now you're looking at some conspiracy. I think. See, this is the issue I have with the left. They hide a lot of, this utopian idea under good. They hide a lot of potentially nefarious shit, and they hide a lot of precedent that could go very, very wrong under the idea of utopian society.
Yeah, but I kind of understand what you're talking about. But
you're a human being, I'm a human being. You're a male, I'm a female. Our differences should end there when it comes to legislation.
True, but it's still a lot of issues with people even treating them like human beings. That's why I assume that they gave laws and they tried to regulate them into people. Yeah, you say morally.
Then you handle that in civil litigation. If there shouldn't be a law that says you have to sell cakes to gay people. If there's a law that says you sell cakes to people with money, and if you put alcohol in your cake, that person has to be 21, and I don't sell my cake to a gay person, then they should be able to sue me in civil court. There shouldn't be a law that says you have to sell cakes to gay people.
Right. But see, here's the thing. When gay people finally, started really coming out of the closet and really expressing themselves, which is probably around the Obama era, because everybody keeps saying Obama started making the gays legal. Usually, those people were getting ousted. They were getting outed, and they were getting ousted out of their jobs. They were getting ousted out of public spaces. They were getting outed for a lot of things.
Why? Well, what does that mean? Making the gays legal? What legislation made gays illegal?
Making it illegal to give them, making it illegal for you to treat them differently than a regular human being. It would be, maybe it's unfair. It was unfair in the workplace. It was unfair in public places. They were getting kicked out of those places. They were getting fired. They were getting denied housing. They were being discriminated against. That's why they put some laws and things into place. Equal rights under the law. It wasn't a matter of special rights, but it ended up, the regular laws weren't meant to kick them out of the regular laws, but it ended up kicking them out of the regular laws because people were firing them, denying them housing and everything else. It was just a matter of leveling the playing field for them.
So why not just litigate that? If there's you can't just do things for the sake of doing things arbitrarily. You have to have a reason. You can't just fire someone.
That was the reason. The reason was they were getting fired. They were getting discriminated against.
But what I'm saying is that's not a reason. You can litigate that. You don't need a law to say you have to have a quota of gay people to prove your hiring practices. You simply have to just be a gay person, go apply for the job. If you get the job and they fire you upon discovery that you're gay, sue their asses. Because there's nothing about you that says you're incapable of doing the job unless it's something that's job specific.
So the whole shebang is people don't want them to have special laws to say they can't be fired. You just want them to be able to sue them on the back end. Instead of stopping them from getting fired from the door, you don't want them to have any kind of special. You want them to be able to be fired. You want them not.
Yes, and here's why. Because these special laws create a precedent. Okay, you know what special laws look like? Jim Crow. Because I'm white, I can do these things that you can't because you're black. Because I'm this, I have specific laws that are set up to protect me that don't necessarily protect you. So when you do that, the precedent you set going forward allows for some heinous shit to occur in the future. Laws should be inclusive enough of one. This is what fairness is. This is what equality is. Laws should benefit as much of what was the word you used earlier? Everyone. Laws should benefit as much of everyone as you can possibly benefit without hindering or getting in the way of others. If any part of that gets in the way of something, you litigate that shit out. You isolate it and you remove it through litigation, but you don't create legislation around these isolated instances, because now what you're doing is you're creating another class of society.
Okay, I can understand that, but you also have to take into account why they put those laws in place. That's fine, I get it, but they also put laws in place for us black people as well. So you want to go back to taking those things out of?
No. The reason why they put laws in favor of black people is because we started at a deficit. There was ground to cover. They're trying to tell you there were laws already in place.
Being gay is
Jim Crow is exactly what I'm saying. These were laws that set us at a deficit.
But you don't think being gay is a deficit?
No, because there's no laws that says that criminalizes being gay. No, there's nothing that says because you're gay.
We have people on here calling gay people weird.
That's not legislation. That's people talking shit.
Yeah, but we also have legislation for being black and being treated fairly.
Yes, but we don't have legislation that opposes homosexuality. So there's no need to offset it. There's no need to counter it because it never existed.
Well, apparently
Jim Crow set us at a deficit by virtue of legislation.
Well, I mean, apparently they thought it was more of a big deal than you thought it was a big deal. I mean, you don't think it should have been put into law. I'm saying the legislators thought it was something that they needed to put into law. I'm saying it is what it is. We can't change the law. We can't change the laws unless we lobby for those laws to be changed. They're not doing that. They're not changing those laws because they want those people to be treated fairly.
What laws?
I don't know what laws that you're the one who said they put special things in place. I don't know what laws they have for gay people.
For whom?
No, I'm saying I don't know the legislation for gays or trans. I have no idea what they put in place.
Exactly. So why offset something that doesn't exist?
So if it doesn't affect me, why would I be concerned about trans rights? Why would it offend me that they got extra rights?
I've already outlined.
Not extra rights. No, not extra rights.
I've already answered that question. Right. It doesn't affect you, but you see, that's the thing. You're looking at it from a you standpoint. I'm looking at it from something beyond me. It doesn't affect me directly at all.
Right.
If somebody comes into the bathroom and tries fucking with me, that's going to be one of the last things they do. I'm cool. I'm talking about the future. I'm talking about children. I'm talking about my daughter, the daughters of other people. I'm talking about the psychology of boys going forward. I'm talking about things that have nothing to do with me. I'm talking about more of the everyone than just me.
I'm saying that's a priority for you. That's not a priority for me. That's not what I don't think that moves the country forward or backward one way or the other. I do think, however, X, Y, and Z moves the country forward or back.
So you mean to tell me that
I just don't think
setting precedents that don't support the strong family structure by virtue of litigation, I mean by virtue of legislation, doesn't help move the country forward?
No, I don't think of that as a paramount existential threat to this country. I don't think of it as that.
Well, I guess we can't converge there.
I'm just saying. I just don't think. I just don't
No,
think that's a threat to our community. I mean, a threat to our country, like
I
being in
hear
debt
you.
to other countries. I just don't think that's a threat.
I hear you.
We can solve those. We can solve those internal problems as we go along. But we have to have a nation. We have to have a nation that's debt free. We have to have a nation that has ethical leaders. We have
Yes.
to have a country before, and we have to have leadership that is collectively thinking as a whole, not as specific thing. We can solve those issues later. Right
Yes.
now, we have threats against our country. Those are
So
more important.
So what you're doing is you're doing the whole children got to eat free again. You're introducing things into the conversation that have little to do with it. Now, I will accept that your position is your position and you're not moving. Very well. My goal is not to change your mind or move your position. It's just to get you to understand another position.
Right.
I hope you at least understand it now. You can maintain yours all you want, right? You are free to do that. But at least now you can see that there's another perspective. And this is just one example. All those other conversations we can have later. This is just one example to show you that there's another perspective that opposes yours that is still aimed at the greater good.
Right.
And that's really all. I'm trying to get you away from this belief that there's hate on both sides. That's why I say I'm not a proponent of either side. Because I think they both sides have their bullshit.
Let me explain my position. My position, seeing as how I come from the perspective that I come from, this culture stuff, and I put this transgender thing under culture stuff. The culture things like transgenders, gay people, abortion. I put those things under culture wars. I don't put those things under things that will fundamentally change our country.
Oh, so you agree? So there's no need for legislation around it. That's exactly right. That's you just said it. It's a cultural issue, not a political issue.
Okay, so why is it that they're putting abortion under a political thing and not being a cultural thing?
That's not LGBTQ.
No, I'm not saying LGBTQ. I'm saying all of these things are cultural things to me.
Abortion's a medical procedure that should be highly regulated and legislated. You mean to tell me look, opioids have legislation around them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, plastics, all kinds of it's a procedure.
Right.
You can't you want folks. Listen, I'm not totally anti-abortion. I'm saying there has to be legislation around it to justify it and regulate it.
Right.
If you are a victim of an unfortunate event, one of the most heinous, I mean, next to death, next to murder, and you know what I mean, grape, things like that, yes. But if you are loose booty and you're using it as a way of,
but you never know one way or the other. So
you don't here you go with the absolutes. You don't have to, but there are numbers that can dictate. That can determine how often one thing happens in another. And all you would need to do is file a police report and attach that to you're good to go.
File a police report for against whom? For what?
In a grape situation.
So, okay. You're saying you want to regulate an abortion to just being raped or those kind of circumstances. And I don't think it should be regulated to that extent. No,
not just grape. Incest. If it threatens the life of the mother or child, carrying that child to term, get rid of it.
So I understand. You're limited. You have that limitation.
Put a rubber on and we're off your pill. You're making stupid decisions. No,
that's not for me to decide. That's not for you to decide. That's the whole point. The whole point is it's for the woman to decide. It's not for you to decide if she's been reckless. It's not for you at all.
Okay, watch this.
That's the difference
I'm with a young lady. I'm with a young lady and we both decide that we want to have children and I'm really looking forward to this children. She has a change of heart and goes the other way. Is that for her to decide after we already decided we want children? And now she can abort?
You gave her your sperm. It is her decision.
To abort after we both agreed that we wanted to have a child. We were trying to have a child. We tracked your ovulation cycle. Right, we actively pursued having a child, and then you want to reverse course on that, and I'm left with what?
You gave her the ultimate decision.
I don't have a choice.
Right, you don't have a choice because it's her body.
Right.
You don't have that choice.
So now you see how you're taking the right for a man to procreate away from a right or away from that man.
No. I'm not taking it away from him. I'm saying
abortion.
I'm saying once you put your sperm in her, you give her the ultimate decision. You give her the ultimate decision. She doesn't give you the ultimate decision.
No,
you give her the ultimate decision.
If we made a decision mutually,
and I said, now I don't think I should have this child.
You simply don't want it. You have a change of heart.
Or
there's no medical reason. There's no dangerous implications here. You simply and we know about women's sense of selfishness and the stability of their emotional state. We've gone through that road before.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about.
That is a shaky foundation.
Wait a minute. Why is it that we're emotional if I tell you that I should have the right to have the AB?
No, I didn't say you're emotional. I said
why did you bring that in then? As though it would be emotional.
I said we've already been down the road of emotional instability in women. You know what I'm talking about. Come on, HQ. I'm just using previously established context to make a point.
Here's the thing. This is a whole conversation that we're never going to agree on. Because I don't believe in you having any choice about how I conduct what I conduct with my body. I still don't believe that. I believe it's her choice.
You enter into the conversation in bad faith is what you're saying. To say that I don't think before we even fully have the conversation from the beginning to end, to sit there and say you don't fully, this is an effort of futility.
You say, wait a minute, I didn't hear a thing you said. You went straight out the door.
You said you didn't think this is a conversation we'll ever agree on. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
All right. So having the conversation is in bad faith if that's how you approach the conversation. You don't know if we'll agree on it until we have the conversation in its entirety. But if you don't, you're damning it before it even has a chance to flourish. It's an effort of futility.
But it's effort. It's not yet. Well, I guess you could put it that way. You could put it that way because my stand won't change that it's a woman's right to have an abortion if she wants to. That's where I'm going to stand.
So where are you in circumcision?
Circumcision. That's a parent's right to choose.
Oh, not the right of the child?
The child is too young to make that decision.
Oh, okay. AB, right, I got you.
No, you said circumcision, right?
Right.
Aren't we talking about cutting the foreskin off? Or
yes,
right?
yes.
I thought that happened when a child was a child, when they first. So it doesn't happen then? It happens some other time?
No, it happens precisely when you think it happens.
Okay, so then that's a parent's decision to make.
Oh, wait, you don't think children are children until they come out and are breathing air. That's right, I forgot. Never mind. There we go.
I'm just saying, we may be on different sides of the spectrum. I get it. You somewhat come over. I somewhat come over, but this is something that we every person has a different take on it.
How do you feel about self-deletion? I'll make it real simple. How do you feel about self-deletion?
Self-deletion?
Yeah. Your body, your choice, self-murder. Make it happen, right? And then you're going to employ doctors to assist that. You want human euthanasia specialists out here practicing medicine designed to help someone untake themselves.
No, I don't believe in somebody. I don't believe in you taking somebody, you helping somebody take their own life. If they
Oh,
take their
but
own
it's
life,
your body. It's your body, your choice, and it has to be a procedure around it, just like AB. Your body.
I can't have a decision. I can't make a decision for that person either way. It's that person's body. If they
Right.
decide
So
to
you
throw themselves
believe.
off a building, I can't. How am I going to change that?
So you believe euthanasia, self euthanasia should be legal.
If they decided that's what they want to do.
Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. HQ, I really appreciate the hospitality and your time. Please hit the like button on your way out the door, folks. This channel has great content. Believe you me, I'm here often. HQ, love you, babe. Take care of yourself. Catch you next time.
We're going to fight. Okay, thank you, Aaron. I just came to play the damn video. Anyway, thank you, Aaron. Thank you for that conversation. But it is what it is. A person assisted suicide is legal. I don't, I don't know how to, I don't know.
DC, stay
I just came to play the damn
now.
video.
On Monday, our Freedom Watchers were up at the DC court.
How do we get to the end of this? Unalive.
Unidentified federal officers were rounding people up and disappearing them. Authoritarianism and fascism is here today in America. And it is critical that every New Yorker and every single person who calls this country home stands up and fights back.
And that's the problem, Convergence. And AB has nothing to do with anybody except a woman and her doctor. And assisted living has to do with an individual choice. I'm with Richard Crosby. Self-deletion of a person is going to do it regardless of what we do. That's the problem. Dems can be losing all we want to. We don't like your side. That's the problem. That's why we're having this rally right now, because they don't like your side. Not that they don't like the Democratic side. It's that they don't like you all side. And nobody should be voting because no man should be voting because Sally wants to have an AB. You're not having an AB, and AB is not on my list of priorities for this country. I'm trying to, if you think you all think that's a priority for this country, regulating AB. I don't think it's the priority of the country. Us being in wars is more of a priority to me. Us being beholden to Netanyahu is more of a priority than somebody who might have an abortion. That's all I'm saying. It's not a priority to me. Being beholden to other people is a priority to me. You might think AB is important. You might think self-deletion is important. It's not important to me. You might think trans is important, but it's not important to me. Being beholden to other people is what I care about. Getting our debt under control is what I care about. Keeping the law is what I care about. Going by the Constitution is what I care about. I don't care about these cultural things. That's the difference between Democrats and Republicans. The cultural things are not the priority for the country. Y'all seem to think that's a high on the list. It's not high for a Democrat. I care about our country moving it forward out of the hands of other people.
We must stand up for every New Yorker.
No, that big, beautiful bill didn't do anything of the 10 things that I told you that are priorities to me. The big, beautiful bill did nothing for any of us between 30,000 and 100,000. It did absolutely nothing for us who make that kind of money. So no, I'm not for the big, beautiful bill.
That includes our immigrant neighbors. We must stand up and organize our communities. In this moment,
what difference does it make? Here's the thing. What difference does it make if we have 100 abortions, 1,000 abortions a day? What difference does that make if Putin is running our government, or if Netanyahu is running our government. What the fuck difference does it make then? It makes no goddamn difference then. We can have a million abortions a day. But if we're beholden to Netanyahu, we are beholden to Putin. Putin is running our military. Putin is running X, Y, and Z. Has nothing to do with running our country. This cultural shit means nothing compared to who's running our country. What money is coming into our country. Okay? No, I'm not being disingenuous. I'm telling you straight up. That means somebody having an AB, I don't give a fuck about anybody having an AB. I don't give a fuck about anybody, trans person or gay person or people in the bathroom. I don't give a fuck about that. I care about our borders. I care about immigration. I care about putting our country first. I care about leaders having control of our government. Okay? Sean, if you think that, then you're way, way, way fucked up. There's more important things to be talking about now that we see the influence these foreign people have over our government. That's more important than AB.
Seeing what's happening and what started in LA has made a roving appearance in Illinois now. What's happening in Memphis and Oregon and what is happening.
Son of cool, I don't have that thing that you keep trying to hit. I don't have that thing that you keep trying to hit. That guilty button. I don't have that. We're fighting for the control of our nation. Stop talking to me about AB. Stop talking to me about AB. Let's get this country under control. Your focus is on the wrong thing. If you're focused on AB and you're focused on trans people.
In Washington, D.C. And the courage and bravery of Americans standing up.
Julian, I'm trying to tell him.
And fighting back is what is going to save our democracy. In this moment, we're seeing right here in New York City where
y'all seem to think I don't care about the kids. I care about kids. I care about AB. But it's not in my top 5 that I concern myself about. We being ran by people from foreign countries. We got money coming into the country. We got AIPAC running everything, giving money to our senators, and they selling us out to the rich people. I give a fuck about an abortion. I give a fuck about the trans people. I care about poor people getting screwed. No leaders outside America have influence. Are you crazy? Nicole, have you heard of AIPAC? Have you ever heard of AIPAC? Have you ever heard of AIPAC? Y'all got to get into the game. This culture shit don't mean nothing. Get into the goddamn game.
People go to seek justice, being faced with injustice in immigration court, where mass agents.
I said it's not in my top 5, son of cool. It's not in my top 5.
Are snatching people showing up to fight for their ability to stay here.
Screw Candyman, are you crazy? Are you crazy, Candyman? Didn't that retard just give us a big beautiful bill that didn't give nothing to the poor people? That didn't give nothing to the middle class people? Are you crazy? What the fuck are you talking about? That was Republicans that did that. Man, get into the game, son of cool. I don't care anything about that. I care about the country moving forward. Fuck son of cool. Son of cool don't bother me. Don't block him. I don't give a fuck what he say. I stand 10 toes down on everything I'm saying. You wild. You care about more kids. You care about AB more than you care about the country. Shut the fuck up. because we don't have no discussion to have when you care about more about them than you care about the money that comes into this country that makes our senators vote against our interests. Shut the fuck up. AB is not on the radar when it comes to that.
You often hear the rhetoric of do it the right way. If going to court and following the process to the letter of the law is not the right way, then I don't know what is. And people are still.
And you happy with that tax? You happy with those shitty ass tax breaks, ain't you, Ultra Krypton? You happy with that little shit?
Being disappeared in that moment. As we gear up to continue to fight against fascism in this country, we know that this administration is going to continue to escalate against our communities. And that is why it is important that we document everything. That is why it is important we stand up for one another. And that is why it's important that we also volunteer and make sure that we are standing up organized in a way in which we are helping the most people possible. For those who are interested in supporting the work we are doing at the NYIC, visit our website, nyc.org/volunteer to sign up.
Y'all stop being disingenuous. Y'all stop being disingenuous. Okay? I already explained to you all my priorities. I've already explained that. This culture shit is what you all bring to the table. Every time I say, what are y'all priorities? Somebody jump out the woodwork and say, abortion, you killing black babies. You don't care about killing black babies. That's the first thing y'all jump out y'all ass with.
The one essential thing that Albany can do
We
for
listening
New
to this
Yorkers
lad. We listen to
is
this
pass the New
part,
York
then it's
Ball
over.
Act and make it clear that the state of New York is not going to collude in harming New Yorkers, separating families, gutting our communities and economy, and making sure we take a strong stance against this administration's efforts to undermine everything we believe in and all of our New York values. Democracy is up for grabs.
Right.
It is up to us to save it. Thank you.
So my whole point is, Dim's men sound sus. The whole point is you have to have priorities. We have to have priorities on this planet. We just can't be rolling around not having any priority. If you feel like children or AB is your priority, then that's amazing for you. There's more things more important. The immigration is immigration. Getting these people verified in our country is more important than me worrying about people having an AB, than me worrying about transgender rights. Getting these people in and out of the country is more important than that. I didn't say it wasn't important. I just said there's priorities. I just put those things as priorities. Okay? That's the whole point. You think AB is important. I don't. Not in the scheme of things. I don't. But that's okay. We all have priorities. We all think things are important. I want to move the country forward. You want to move the country forward. It just happens to be in a different way. So it is what it is. I still haven't gotten you guys to put anything in the chat that says y'all what you prioritize as a Republican. I ain't seen one thing y'all put in the chat that ain't culture war, that ain't culture wars, that is on the level of moving. Y'all ain't nobody said nothing about money, moving the country forward, changing the laws, doing X, Y, and Z. I ain't seen nobody do none of that. Okay, so it is what it is. No, I ain't finna go nowhere. I'm just telling. Hit the like button, the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Like, share, subscribe. I'd appreciate it. I'll be back later. Since this I wasn't interested in this no King's rally. No way. I'll talk to y'all later. I'll be back later. We'll be back later to do something. Maybe why y'all crashing out over Baby Bunny or whatever the fuck his name is. I don't know. We'll be back. I'll be back. Hit the like button, hit the share button, do all them good things. I'm just telling you, I put in the chat my 10 priorities. If they ain't your priorities, I can't help it, but they are mine. Hit the like button. I have priorities too, just